Hi, this is Joanne Hewins from LoveToCreate.typepad.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to share with you how to make this little box and a little 3x3 card to kind of match with it. This is for the Love to Stamp blog hop that we are having for January. And we're trying to do some sweet treats. So let me get busy with this. First of all, let me tell you that I am using some of the Country Lane Designer Series paper. This is in the new mini catalog. Let me get that front cover so you can see it. I'm sure you've seen these purples. And it is on page 9. So it is this paper down here. There's another one that coordinates with this suite called the Country Gingham, and they have the same colors in them as this. But let me pull some of that paper and show it to you. Some of it's gone because I've been using it, but I think that if I just flip this a little bit, you can see pretty well what's in here. So this first piece is this. Okay, isn't that pretty with those little hearts and everything? And then they have another piece very similar to that first one with the stripes on the back, or the stripes. Then we have this piece with, there's a punch available to purchase that will punch out these hearts. And this has that pretty stripe on it. This has the stripe on the back. Okay, we have this piece. This is Balmy Blue with a little pretty flower there. And here's one with bicycles and a pretty diagonal Balmy Blue. Then this one that has this real pretty heart thing that we used here. And then this is the paper that we're using for our bag. I'm going to pull that out because I might use it in a few minutes. And you can just see the paper is gorgeous. But let's get started with our bag. And I told you we're going to be using this paper. And both of these are cut to 6x6. So you're going to need two papers with the same pattern, 6x6. So two that are the same, because one's going to do the front of your bag and one's going to do the back of your bag. So there is a little bit of directionality to this paper. I want to have these little sprigs right here going up. So I want to place both of my papers so that that is going up. And that will determine a little bit about how I'm going to score this. Let me get my Simply Scored. And I have misplaced the little scorer for that. Let me look here and see. I just had it a few moments ago. All right, not going to be able to do it very well without it. Let me check the floor. Ah, found it. There's always got to be something, so maybe that was it. Sorry. Okay, so this is the top, and I'm going to put it here on the side right here. This is the top, and it's going to have a score line of 3/4 of an inch. And then the rest will all be 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 there. 1 1/2 here. We're just turning it a quarter turn each time, and 1 1/2 here. So you've got your 4 score lines. So I'm going to take this next piece. I'm going to put that top right here and do the 1 3/4, and then 1 1/2 on all the other sides. Okay, and let me be sure I put my score thing in the little pouch right here so that I can find it the next time. All right, let me see if I'm still centered. Okay, so I'm going to get my bone folder and we will burnish all of these. So I'm going to turn it, I'm going to do the fold at the top first. And I want to try to make sure I get this as straight as I can. Okay. And then that one folds down, and all of the others are going to fold back. And I'm trying to keep these straight up here. And then we'll do this one here. And then we'll do all of the other side the same. So let me find the short side. That's going to go down. And then these other sides will fold back. Okay. And then we'll fold here. So we've got our pieces ready to go now, and there's a little bit of cutting involved. So for one of these, we're going to go on the score lines. Might be easier to see it back here. And I'm just going to cut the end corners on this one. Well, I can't keep my grid paper still. All right, and then for the other one, we'll put this at the top, and we're just going to cut on this score line right here and stop it when we come to the next score line. So we're going in from the sides on this. Okay, that's all the cutting that we have to do on this. Now I have a piece of poster board. This is actually from the backing of our specialty papers, and I'm going to use it to make the bottom of our bag just a little bit more, more stable. I think this is cut at 1 3/8, I think, by maybe 2 3/4. And how's that gonna? That's gonna fit in there just fine. So I'm just gonna take my glue and glue that on there. And I don't want this to extend beyond that fold right there. So I'm going to let that set just a little bit. Now you could use tear and tape with this. You could use Seal Plus, I think. I'm just going to use glue. It might be a little bit messier. I hope not, but we'll see. And we want our basket's going to go, or our bag is going to go this way. So this piece is going to go down on top of this. So I'm going to put more glue here. And this, we want to try to match up those score lines on there. We want it to still be able to turn up. And I probably need to go up. That's one thing about the glue, is that it will allow you to move it around a tad if you catch it in time. You don't have forever, but you'll have a little bit. So we want to put these little pieces on our bag. Let's see. I'm going to do, yes, we're going to do this part first, because we want all our folds, the fold here and the folds here, all on the same, and this will be the front of our bag. So let me put these two down, and I'm going to add some glue on both of those. And this one we'll try to line that up even all around there. And then this one will go here. Now, if you want, after you get that kind of settled where you think it needs to be, you can just take your bone folder and kind of just go add a little pressure in there to make sure that it's set and good. And now we're going to put our glue on the sides. I think I'll do this one and then add the glue on the other side. And I'm going to try to get that about as good as I can get it to be even. And once again, I'm using my bone folder to help me. And then we'll put some more glue right in here. And I'm trying to see that I have my tops even, if I can. And then we'll do the bone folder again. And there we go. We've got our box. Now I've noticed that this piece sticks out a little bit, and I don't like that. So I'm going to bring in some glue dots. And I take a pick tool, and I'm just going to put a glue dot right in there. And another one right in here, just to hold that down. I think that's the only place that I need to have that. Okay, so we are ready to either decorate or do our ties. And I think we'll just go ahead and decorate. And I'm going to pull in another piece from the paper, the Country Lane paper, and show you that I used this paper to cut out a tag. And for that, I used the 2 tags dies, and I cut out the second largest one for that. So I've already done that to help us with our time. So I'm going to set that aside, and we want to make this tag right here. And I've already cut out some of the pieces for you. I feel like you probably know how to cut, but we'll work on that if we need to cut anything else. So the next dies that I'm going to show you are the summer shadows. And for this flower, I have used Actually, here's one of these. I've used mint macaron, and I've cut one of the leaves that has the detailed part of it, and I also cut another one that has just the plain. And we're going to adhere those two together. Here's the other one here. And then I also used this die right here to cut out 3 white flowers. So let me pick those up and bring them over. This is out of basic white, and so we're going to work on that first, our flower and our leaves. So let me set this out of the way, and we'll work on gluing our leaves together. And I'm going to use my regular multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to try to barely squeeze any out. Okay. And I'm not going to glue this over every little surface. I'm just going to put a few little dots here and there. And I hope that'll get it. So I'm just going to turn this over and match it up with this leaf. Okay, and because I've got just a little bit of glue on there, hopefully I can pull this around and get it right where it needs to be. Maybe. Usually I don't have any trouble with that. Okay, but here's our leaf. Let me turn that over a little bit and push that down. And that's going to go right in here on our tag, and I'm going to use dimensionals. Excuse me. I'm just going to put dimensionals on the back of my leaves. And let's see, I've got some cut in half right there. I'm going to just use one of those to on that smaller spot, and then I'm just going to use my take your pick tool to get the backings off of that, and we'll put our leaf right in there. Now with my bone folder, I'm going to curl up. Well, it looks like I'm curling down, but I have them upside down. So it is going to kind of curl up a little bit. It's not curling a lot, but just a little. And I'm going to do the same with all of them. But I think I'm going to do something a little bit different than my this one. I'm going to curl one. I didn't turn this one upside down, so I'm actually curling it so that the things go down. And I'm going to add these together with glue dots. So I'm going to put a glue dot there, and I'm going to add one just a little bit askew there. Then I'm going to put another glue dot here and add one that's still just a little bit askew. And that's going to be my flower that we're going to put on there. I'm going to bring in an old poker tool and get that real good with that. Okay, now for the center of my flower, I'm going to use another set of dies. This is the Hydrangea dies, and there's one piece that has a lot of flowers. And I cut some of these out already. I just kind of put it, I had a strip of paper like this, and I just laid my die across. And I was able to get 3 flowers. This is the same width of paper that I used to cut out my, my tag. So I have some of those little flowers right here, and that's going to be the center of this other flower. So I'm going to take my glue, and on 2 of them, I'm just going to put a tiny little dot of glue on those. And then we'll put, I think I'll use my, take your pit tool on that. We'll use 1 to go there. And then the one with no glue on it will go on top of that. Okay, I'm going to use this end again. Now, if I take my paper and put it on a spongy surface like this craft mat, I can take that little end and kind of make that have a little bit of dimension to it. And now I'm just going to take the glue and put it in the center of that. And I'm just going to kind of add that right in there. So that's how I did the flower. And we're going to take that and put down another dimensional. And this is going to go right up in here. Oops, I didn't mean to drop it there, but right in there. Okay, and then we still have a little tag that we're going to put on our tag. So I'm going to move a little bit of this out of the way. And I'm using the stamp set, there it is, Hydrangea Haven. And it has in its dies the cutest little tag. And I just love that tag. Let me put these back in. So we're going to use that tag for our card. So I've pulled out the saying that says, "with love," and we're going to put that on our tag. Our tag on our tag. So I'm using Petal Pink ink, and I'm just going to stamp it here with love. And then we'll use the die that I just had in my hand, but don't see anymore. How do you lose things so quickly? Here it is. Here it is. So I'm going to put that here, and I'll cut that out. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring my machine in just in case you need to see it. Let me straighten stuff up again here. And this is my cut and emboss machine. It's going to have a couple layers, a base plate, and then a small plate, one clear plate, and then I'm going to put down my die that has just been slung across the floor, and I don't see it. Here it is. You just have to laugh sometimes, don't you? So I'm going to put this down carefully, and we'll just roll this through. And that's, in case you had a question, that's about all you have to do. If I have to cut anything else, I'll probably just do it off camera to speed things up just a little. So there's our tag. And I'll just move that stuff out of the way. And here's our With Love. Okay. So let me pull this one in again. Let me pull in the tag that I've got. And I'm going to put a little glue dot right there. Now you know that glue is shining through, the sticky is shining through, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to put a dimensional down at this end, and then when I put my tag in, I'm going to angle it just a little bit, and there it is, the With Love. And then I'm going to add a pretty little bow on there. To use that, there is a pack of the Baker's Twine Essentials. It has 5 different colors. I have used up one of them. And we are going to use that, and we are going to color enough of this twine with a dark petal pink blend. And that's going to make our color for this flower. Now I've already colored one piece that's going to be this part up here. So I'm trying to decide. I'll just go ahead and color it here. And so I've got the dark petal pink, and I'm using, well, the dark. And I'm just going to go through and color. I'm trying not to use the point of that too much because that will just wear that out. And I don't really have to worry so much about the other side because it's going to blend back there. We'll check it in a minute. I wanted to show you this, but I didn't want to show you on every piece because once you've seen me do it, you've seen it done. Okay, I'm going to pull in a bow tire. That's the way I tie my bows. Stampin' Up doesn't sell this, but you can search them and find them about everywhere. And I'm doing a double bow, which means I'm going to go around twice to get a double bow. And this is, like I say, it's how I do about all of my bows because it's fast and they always look good. So I'm going to take my bow and stick it up here under this a little bit. Still a little bit wet. I hadn't had any problem with that before, but I do have a new blend out. So I'm going to take another glue dot and stick it back there over the first one. And I'm going to put my bow back under there. Okay, I think if it was drier, we wouldn't have a problem with that. But there it is. And I'm going to take my scissors and just kind of clip that off. There. So, and then for the small tie-on, I'm just going to double this and stick it straight through. And then we'll just thread these ends through the loop and pull that, and then we'll cut those. And we'll get us some dimensionals. And we'll just stick that on. Now, because this is a bag, it's not something you're probably going to mail. You can use as many dimensionals as you want. You don't have to worry about, is it going to cost more postage? If you try to mail it, of course it will. Okay, so I'm just going to stick all of that on like that. I'll take all this off. And then it's going to go on the bag that we made. Make sure that you put it on the front that has all the pretty folds. Okay. And then we're going to add some of the Elegant Faceted Jewels. And we'll just put a couple up in here. Maybe I'll put a big one up there. And then another one down here on that. So there's the bag. Now, for the holes in the bag, I'm going to be using a hole puncher. This used to be Stampin' Up. It's been retired. It's a 1/8 inch. And I'm going to just kind of hold on a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to just kind of look and get it to the edge there and just a little bit of a piece here on that. And then I'll do the same on the back. So I didn't really measure it super great, but I think it's going to be pretty close. And then we're going to be using some of the, here it is, some of the white Crinkled Seam Binding for this. And I'm going to be coloring this as well. I've already colored one side, and let me just really quickly try to get that done for you. Now this was the only ribbon I had that I thought would go with the colors in this. There's other ribbon available, but you have to go with what you have in stock. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut that so that it has a point to it. Now I found that when I got ready to tie my knots in the ribbon, that I didn't have them big enough so that they wouldn't pull back out of the basket. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Let's see if I can get a hold of that. We're going to stick that through our hole. Try to grab it from the other side. And I am going to tie a knot in the end. Now these are each about 10 inches, I think, each of those. So I'm not going to pull it super tight, but I am going to fix it so that my knot kind of goes down, and I'm going to pull in just some Scotch tape, some of the clear tape that won't really show, and I'm going to kind of put that on my bun folder here. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to get my tape on the end of that, and you know what I missed? Oh, it's still on there. Okay, I've got it on there too much. Okay, and I'm just going to tape. You can't see it, but I've got that taped down a little. And then I'm going to do the same over here. This is a kind of an awkward bit of the tape because it takes a little bit of time, and I'm not one of those super coordinated people. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull it till it kind of catches, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to lay this clear tape that's not going to be seen over on top, and that makes my little tie. Okay, I'm tempted to tell you I'll skip this and since you've seen, but I think I will go ahead and try to do it. So ideally you would use a ribbon that would tie a knot that would be big enough that it wouldn't pull through the holes. But like I said, this was what I had that I thought I could fit to match it, to match my bag. Okay, well, I didn't do too badly on that one. Okay, and so this will be all of the bag, except filling it with candy. And honestly, I just don't have the candy left anymore. I have a really bad chocolate sweet tooth, so it didn't last. All right. Okay, I'm sorry somebody keeps calling me, but hopefully they will get the message. All right, so here are the bags, and let's go ahead and start to quickly go ahead and do the note card. Now the note card is 6 by 3 and then scored at 3. Now the envelopes, Stampin' Up does sell a 3 by 3 envelope. It's right here on page 137. Basic white 3 by 3 envelopes. 40 envelopes for $10. And these are really good size for a to put in with a gift. So let me pull in my paper that I've got. Here's my score line at 3, and I'm going to go ahead and score that. Match your corners the best that you can. And then I'm using the paper that was on the tag for this. So what I need is a piece that is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And I had a piece cut for that, but I'm not seeing it right now. And I believe I had cut that from this, so hopefully this is 2 7/8. Yeah, so we'll just cut again right here, and that will take care of that. We'll glue that to the front of our card. And these little hearts do have a direction to them, so you want to pay attention to that when you glue it to your card front. And I want my card to stand up like this, so I'm going to glue right in here Again, I'm using the multi-purpose glue to get it to stand the same. Now, I'm going to cut a tag, and I'm going to go ahead and do that with you. And I said I probably wouldn't bring that back in, but I am going to, because I'm going to cut the same tag we used before, but I couldn't use it that long, so I want to show you how I shortened that. So let me pull back in the emboss and cut machine. Okay, and I'm going to cut the piece. Now I found a scrap that would work well for that, but you wouldn't have to cut the whole length of that. And that doesn't want to lay good, so I'm going to put a little bit of tape. This is just some tape that's been used and used. And let me roll. I'm sorry, that little glass thing you hear is just a shot glass that someone gave me one time to hold my liquid glue. And I'll just show it to you in just a minute. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fit it up so that this is a little bit shorter. I'm going to cut off about that much, and you can feel those little stitched things kind of lay in place there. So I'm going to hold that and run it through again. And hopefully, look, you can't even tell, can you? So that is how you can shorten your tag. And so let me bring these back in and we'll just hopefully get this put together pretty quickly. So I have another one of the leaves that I ran through. This is the more detailed leaf. And I'm just going to pull that out right here. And that's the first thing that I glue onto my tag. So I'm going to do just like I did a little bit ago. I'm going to try my best just to get some thin pieces. I really would like it better thinner than that. This isn't the glue I've been using. And anyway, so we'll just do some here and there. Here's my shot glass. It's got a little bit of sticky down in there, so from glue, by the way. And so I'm going to glue that down. And then I have a flower that I cut from the same paper. And it's that same die that we used from for the white flowers. So I'm going to actually take a scrap here of this paper and I'm going to cut me a little circle. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. And I'm going to glue that. Okay, I hear my husband's voice outside. I'm going to run shut my door. Okay, he doesn't know I'm going to do a video, so he won't know to be quiet. Okay, so I've got those holes covered. I'm going to add another glue dot to the back of that flower. And it's going to go right up in there. And then I have already, since you saw me make that other tag, you don't really need to watch me make another. So I'm just going to, for this one, I think I'm going to stick it up under that flower again. So let me get another. Do you all lay things down and then you can't find them? And you know they're there because you didn't even move. Okay, so I'm going to stick another glue dot under there. And then I'm going to get, I'm about out of these dimensionals. I'm just going to cut a piece and put it underneath my tag right here. There. Okay, so there's that tag. Let me put another one of the Elegant Faceted Gems. Since I went a little bit shorter with this one, I think I'm just going to put that down here. Okay, just looks a little bit different. And then we will take some more of these dimensionals here. I've never had so much trouble with a grid paper before. So that will go there. Just about to put it upside down. And then I made another bow, just like the one we made before. I get a glue dot for that. Now it shouldn't be as hard to glue this one, I would hope, because it's dry. I'm trying to bend that glue dot back, so I could have rolled it up. I'm trying to keep all that on the back. And there's our pretty little bow. Now I didn't put anything on the inside. That would be for you to write a note. So let's bring in our envelope. Now I'm going to be honest and tell you that I used old envelopes. I still had a pack of the old 3x3s. They brought them back, and that's what I have. And so it might look just a little bit different nowadays. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I could cut that down smaller, but I think I can work it out okay. I'm going to put, I think I'll have to do it probably this way. I'm just going to put the straight edge right here at the fold, almost to the fold, and push down on that. And now I can just turn this around, turn it over, and just cut around. Okay, and there's our envelope to go with our pretty card, and our bag ready to fill with some kind of goodie, and that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope you learned something. I hope there's something that you can use. If you need any supplies, please go to lovetocreate.typepad.com. Click on the shop button, and we will be so happy to have your order. Thank you a lot. Bye-bye.